Alrighty. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. So, I wanted to come on here and talk about the Jacob Blake situation. And I was going to all fire in, and it's something his father said that got me going. I saw it this morning. His father said, what gave them the right to treat my son like an animal and blah, 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 blah. And I was going to come on here and, even... He's going to come over and just light him up, right? Light him up, tell him about his son and all this stuff. But I'm not going to do that. And I'll tell you why. Because his mother seems like a level-headed woman. She's been very gracious, given the situation that she's going through as a mother. She's been very gracious. Even to President Trump, to the police, But the father is leading protests and he's all mad. Bruh, has it occurred to you, Jacob Blake Sr., that if you had been more of a father to your son, if you had taught him the right things, this would have never went down? No, because he would have been graduated college, maybe have his own business, doing the right thing in the community. Doing the right thing in the community. And I looked at because the family has a long generational thing of helping out in the community, but if you look, it's the mother's side of the family. Father sounds like a straight thug. A fat old thug with glasses, but a thug nonetheless. And it occurred to me, it's like, you weren't present. You weren't present. When he was going through these things and getting this rap sheet, a good father, and here's why his past matters. A good father would have stepped in and guided him to steer him away from this lifestyle. But you didn't. You didn't, did you? No, of course not. Now you want to come out and yell and scream and say it's all the police fault, say it's racism's fault. You can say it's racism's fault. Because the Democratic Party, of course, has, through Planned Parenthood and through welfare, have destroyed the black family structure. You joined BLM, another group who wants to destroy the black family structure. So there's going to be more young men out there like your son who didn't grow up with a father present, or at least not a good father, because you sound like an idiot. And that's really what struck me about this. The father's yelling and screaming, they did my son like this, blah, blah. But during those 29 years of his life, where were you to stop him from doing what he's doing? To give him guidance, to mentor him. See, that's the job of a father. Not just to pay your child support and go smoke your weed and whatever. The job of a father is to mentor their child, to teach them the right things to do in life. Not to come out yelling and screaming, but let me read you a little bit of this article. Jacob Blake Sr. decried the local police to the crowd in Kenosha. What gave them the right to think that my son was an animal? You've all looked at the video by now. You see what happened. And you know what happens when cops don't shoot. Look at the 2 cops in Chicago. Look at the 2 cops in Kenosha. Almost got assassinated. I think one did die, so he was assassinated. Sitting in their car minding their business. Somebody walks up and starts firing shots into the patrol car. I actually saw one of my Facebook friends post a meme of some guy walking up and shooting into a cop car. I think I brought this up on another video. This is going to start happening. Well, okay, so now I'm a cop in Kenosha. Pull a black man over for a traffic stop. How tense do you think that situation is going to be? How tense do you think that situation is going to be? Saw another meme, young lady holding up a sign. It said, if you're scary, you shouldn't have taken this job. It's a scary situation, young lady. Why don't you go try being a cop? If not, shut your mouth. Saying that's what we have here now. And the people pushing on this situation, like Jacob Blake Sr., right? It's really, let me read you some more of what he said so you can see what got me so upset this morning. They're talking about, this is Jacob Blake Sr. here. He pledged the protest will go on. We're not going to stop. We're still suffering because there are two justice systems. There's one for that white boy that walked down the street and killed 2 people and blew another man's arms off. Then there's one for my son, he said. See, this is the type of lies that's perpetrated in the black community. You watch that video, that kid was chased, he was attacked with a skateboard. I had a good friend 15, 16 years ago get attacked by 3 punks with a skateboard, lost his left eye, severe brain damage, ended up destroying his life, completely destroyed his life. And he was coming out of Denny's, and one of them was peeing on his car. He said, "Stop it," the kid hit him with a skateboard. You know, so that skateboard is very dangerous. I know from personal experience. But see, it's black men like this that don't have the mental capacity to realize what they're doing is wrong, that don't have enough judgment to step back and look at a situation and be able to tell the truth about it. Now, he's speaking from an emotional place. Rhetoric. Kind of reminds me of LeBron and Doc Rivers. I won't even call him Coach Doc Rivers anymore. He's just Doc Rivers. But he's speaking from an emotional place, and he's lying. He's completely incorrect. And I don't know if he's purposely lying, but I kind of feel he is. Here's something else that Blake Sr. said. My Caucasian counterparts, we love you, but you will never understand what we go through. Ooh, I gotta agree with that. I know some of my Caucasian friends will never know what it feels like to live in a very prosperous neighborhood, stay next to a golf course and have 4 cars. A big house. I feel bad for those guys. I don't have LeBron money, but I'm, not hurting. So on Saturday, is this his sister here? Latitra Whitman. Said, 7 bullets, 7 days, and I'm proud of being black. I love black people. Blah, 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 blah. She goes, on Saturday, she recited the lines of poetry to the Virgin crowd. I am the keeper, and I won't accept your abuse. I am the keeper, and I will not die. For 400 years, you have tried. Looks like, and I was going to say it, but I have too much respect for his mother. Jacob Blake's uncle, Justin Blake, urged those gathered to campaign nonstop. Don't just wait until another body hits the ground to put your boots on. Put your boots on every day and do that work. Well, Uncle Justin, if you and your brother had done that work, this young man would not have been in this situation if you two had been standing up and being men, because you would have been guiding him. You would have led him away from his life. It's just nonsensical to me. You're blaming the cops, you're blaming everybody. When the truth is, honestly, Jacob and Justin Blake are to blame for this. Jacob Sr. and Justin Blake are to blame, because you should have guided that young man. You should have guided him. So that just really kind of got me, and I'm trying to be respectful to Jacob Blake because of his mother. I really like his mother. Really level-headed woman, which probably explains why she left that dumbass Jacob Blake Sr. Smart woman. Alrighty, so those are just my thoughts on this whole Jacob Blake Sr. bullshit. The whole Justin Blake blah blah blah. Thank you for watching this episode of The Dan Dawson Show. It's going to be more coming because I got more to say.